And this is the first time we are going live with the Skynet's handle as well, because this stream is about Skynet. And we're going to get started on how you can utilize Skynet. And we have some special guests with me. First of all, I have Naman from the base team. Hey, Naman, glad to have you. And we have Prashant from the Spheron team. And Skynet is somewhat which sits really close to our hearts and also our building cycle, because we have been day in and day out working on Skynet, and we wanted to make it live for the world to see that there are so many things that can happen on the agentic side. And honestly, like when I speak about agents, right, like we saw that everybody was creating agents back few days back, and fancy cron jobs and a lot of stuff which was happening because people couldn't figure out like what the agent would eventually do and what's the use case of it. And whilst making Skynet, I think there was a whole idea which brainchild from, okay, if we are creating agent, like what about the usability? Like why anybody would really want to do it? Like why would really anybody would want to use Skynet on the periphery or as a main product for anything? Like how would you build logic into that? What's going to be the use case around it? How do you connect different MCPs, and how do you go ahead and publish it? So all of this capsuled into one product. It wasn't easy, but it's out there. And I want to know from Prashant, like how the journey has been from like day zero of thinking about Skynet to really going ahead and uh, demoing it. And believe me, for a builder, trust me, the
Tough job.
biggest, big,
It's a tough
toughest
job
job in the world.
to do it. Even my
Always.
hands are shaking now. Like even if I can just do that or not, that's gonna be like that's gonna be very big job for me. But yeah,
So
great question
yeah.
again. Because yeah, I think the idea of like why, if you kind of look at very closely, like we are building, it's not nothing new. It has been already been existent. Even in Web3, whatever we built, there's nothing new. Everything was already existed. The reason we are building Web3 is because we wanted to make everything permissionless, decentralized, and blah blah blah, all of those stuff. Right? That's the core thesis of whatever we built, and that has to be there. So Skynet basically follows that core thesis by default. So it uses Spheron, so it uses the DP network to deploy the compute network over a secure network and all of those things which we have built. So it is by default there. So I'll not touch base that by because we are by default Web3. I'll touch base like why we wanted to have that in Web3 ecosystem. If I ask you, like I'll give you, I always look at the world in a very simple way. If you solve me a simple problems, that problem is way better to solve, like which can solve my daily work versus like you just sell me something which just doesn't does any shit, right? It just you just come and sell some dream, to take my money and sell the token and you are gone. That's not what we were looking at for this kind of when we were designing. Our simple thesis was like how can this solve a problem for anyone in the community in a more LLM centric way. So there is a concept called full stack AI. If you guys don't understand that, let me over be like what exactly this full stack AI and full stack AI SaaS and all of those things are. The full stack AI SaaS and all of these companies are basically they are built with AI, and they are everything around them is been driven by AI. Even their logical reasoning, the calling of executions and all of this stuff. That's what basically it makes. So essentially, like you don't put any more if and else statement to reach to certain level. You use LLMs to reach to that level with the natural language, and that design is by default embedded into that SaaS which you are building. So in our case, let's say imagine it's a Skynet. So what Skynet basically does, it's very simple. It's a no-code tool platform which allows you to build an agent. Now, why this agent is very unique? Everything in Skynet is driven by LLM. Okay, so there is nothing called if and else, tons of if and else statement which we have placed behind the scene and then we use that. No, it's all LLMs, right? So even calling an execution, calling a tool, calling that, it's all natural language. So which I'm also going to demo you guys like how exactly it looks like. But the simple theory was that let's say Naman is handling marketing. I'll very classic example. Naman is handling marketing in base. Imagine, or Prakash is handling BD in Spheron. How can I solve the problem for two of you? Like for the BD angle, the biggest challenge which I have seen people facing, even myself, like when we started at Spheron, I still have like tons of groups of BD, right? And a lot of them are like dead. Like I don't even interact, or even if the message comes into, I don't even respond because it's already gone into my archive. Now, how can I ensure that whenever there is an important group, no matter what, I respond there. Okay. So it's like filtering the noise. Okay. So and if you understand, and again, there's a concept of signal and noise and all of those stuff. So if you understand how to generate the right signal, you will understand what I'm saying here. Okay. So signal here is that you filter the noise. What is noise for us? A lot of groups which doesn't have any value, but there are tons of groups which add a lot of value. How can we ensure that we are always active there? So you can go ahead and use Scanet, build a normal BD. I call it Pokemon because I loved Pokemon in my early days. I love that how it used to work. So I built my Spheron Pokemon bot, and I put it at the groups depending on like which group I want to. Let's say if I am going for data center related discussion, so I have a data center related BD Pokemon. I have let's say some other marketing related groups. I have that one. So like that, I have created multiple. Now imagine if you have to code this, how you are going to do that. The biggest challenge for you is going to be you will first going to go vibe code on cursor, and if you are not a dev, believe me, it's not going to work out for you. So don't try it at home. Be very cautious. Don't spend your money. Don't give that money to them. Come and spend that money on Skynet. That's much more better. Second thing is you have to maintain it. It's not just building everything. Maintenance becomes the biggest bottleneck. Going to the market again becomes the next challenge. Like whatever you do, it just takes time. And that's where Skynet fills the gap. Today you go to Skynet, you build this Pokemon, hardly around 2 to 3 minutes max it will take. It will up, running, no problems. You are all done, right? So that's what Skynet brings on the table. Now coming back to like why you are doing this in Web3. Like there is nothing called Web3 into this, right? First, again, as I said, bottom layer is Ferron, Web3 is by default there. Up on the upper side, if you kind of look at on this Skynet, we have certain integrations, very Web3 native integration. Let's say I want to build a DCA bot of mine without giving my private keys or some access to some random company in the world which just launched a token and I just don't trust them. You can go and launch your own bot, dedicated bot with DCA Bitcoin on, let's say, base, right? You can do that. Let's say I want to, like, in a part of a private alpha group. I get always this some ERC20 address in my group. I want to know like if this token is something which I should buy. If yes, then send me a DM. If I approve that, just go ahead and buy the token. Right. So all of these things are very Web3 native. You can't just have it on N10. And so that's the reason we had to build our own. And Skynet is built from the scratch. So we have spent already more than around 7 months into this building. Behind the scene, we have doing tons of like efforts like raising around it. So that's what Skynet basically brings on the table. I'll pause here, or else I can go on, and I can eat up your entire stream. So, I'll, yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
but pretty amazing. Like pretty amazing on what DX what you want to solve, right? Like the sometimes I feel that most of the products they lose the plot. Like they start with like something else, they have been doing something else, and that has been like into the space forever now. Like when I like Naman, I think I would want your POV onto somebody who comes into different builder ecosystem. Like there are people who start with like eventually you guys like buy into their idea and okay, you're going to do this and we're going to support you, and then it becomes something else. Like and it's not usable. Like as Prashant said, like a lot of the things which are there are not usable. Like I feel how you guys like as an ecosystem, like how do you approach that problem? Okay, they started off with this and now they're doing something else, and specifically like the agentic side, everybody's doing some sort of agent right now, and everybody has just chipped AI into that, and like it has become a thing. But like how do you guys are solving that?
Yeah, so I feel it's very natural for a founder to, especially at a very early stage, right? If you're just starting to build and pre-product, or when you go into your very initial stages of your product, first 100, 500,000 users, it's very imperative to, or very natural for a founder to think of, let's say, changing this, changing, pivoting, or just changing features, right? And it's okay to do that till the time you're able to justify that or have very clear insight into why am I doing that. If let's say I'm changing my name from Naman to small n Naman, there a specific reason or a signal to do that? What, how close am I to my customers? How well do I define my customers, understand feedback, what feedback, right? So I feel going deeper into what is the reason, or what is the reason or signal behind pivoting or changing is something that matters, especially in such cases. And what really stands out here are founders who have very clear direction on what they're building, what's the reason why they're building, and clear objective of what the customer wants. Feeling if we just break down pivoting into these three factors, it solves everything. And what I really love about you guys, and I've really started noticing this after we had our last chat, which was I think 4 5 months ago, is clearly is a very clear focus and direction into what's the north star for you guys. And I think it comes out when I talk to you, it comes out through what you post, through your comms, and that is, I feel, a very big kudos.
I think
Thank you so much.
it's
We
a
were not
compliment
expecting
now.
that.
Like it's rare in Web3, right? Like how do how do you how do you take
So we were like in a silence zone. What the fuck has happened? Somebody just kudos.
that?
What the fuck? Like, it should not be like that.
You
It should be like, what the fuck you guys are building? It doesn't even make sense. Why you are even building this?
we have such
But thank you so much.
funny comments right now. I want to show you one comment. Okay, there is this break the Indian CEO. That's like guys,
Nice.
like every day we wake up, it's
So
some
world don't understand that the world is run by Indians.
yeah.
In the world in which they live in. Even though I'm in life core, I can just say that like I'm proud being
Yes.
Indian, and I have always been. So and the world today you see today has been run and acknowledged. All the theses, whatever you do today is given by Indians, from philosophy to number zero to whatever you look around. So I don't think like being Indian is a CEO curse. I'm fucking proud Indian.
That's more like it. So yeah, the farmer who's watching this, you gotta.
You are the wrong place at the wrong time. So don't fuck around with us because we know how to do that things. Like, and I'm very straight on this. Okay, the reason being because there are a lot of time I've seen founders going into the shadows and side thinking that these guys are just bullying them online by calling them Indian or whatever. Bro, like they don't even know you. Like they what if they have something they would have been building something in Web3, not just bullying you. If they have a guts, they will bully in my Uttar Pradesh region where I live in. Just come and bully me there. I love to see how the bully works, and I'll show you how the bully basically looks like. That's a different statement to make, but overall, the good
I'm good.
the good part is that we all are here in Web3 to build together. So let's embrace it.
But coming back to Skynet, what do we have like you have achieved? I think it's time to showcase it to show people up. Like let's bring that bring that card on the table and let's see like what it's there and what it's all about. I I really get
Yeah,
excited.
sure. I can share my screen. Just first of all, like if you go at on a Skynet site, there's something very interesting which you'll see here. This is the line which we believe in. No bullshit. Okay, so if you're here for some kind of a shit, you are gonna regret it. So please don't use Skynet if you are in that for such kind of fun. But if you are here for something which really gonna help you out, it is that the what I'm gonna show you. So let's do one thing very quickly, okay? So I have a lot of this I play around a lot because like I said, like I have multiple of mine. So what I'm going to show you guys today is very simple thing. Let's say I want to build my and I'm going to post it on my Skynet account. Okay, a normal Twitter bot. Basically, what it does, it basically posts on my Skynet. Whenever I give it an idea, it just extends that idea utilizing LLM, and then it's post on Twitter bot. Very simple. Not no BS, no hard flow like around like how it will be designed or even from the understanding perspective. So it's very simple. Again, you just go on create a new agent. How it basically shows up. um, Again, for early, a lot of people, what I have noticed is like you will get confused when you see such kind of thing because people are not used to of it. So but let me just give a very high level context what it means. Start basically means like this is your starting point. So that's how software works. So software needs some kind of starting point to start. It cannot do everything on its own. So it's like putting a plane on the runway doesn't mean like plane will fly. You have to basically give a thrust, like fire up all the engines, and then it just flies. So that's a start point for us as on a Skynet. Again, you can change the starting point. It can be a Telegram, it can be anything else. But for now, I'm just keeping a UI as a starting point. So this is what it's gonna be. Now in the starting point, if you see, like there's something called auto execute. This is very interesting part, right? Let's say if I am building a trading bot which has capacity to, let's say, execute every 5 minutes, 5 seconds, or if you're taking a short or long or whatever call on, let's say, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even 1 hour or whatever window, you can do that and it auto executes those calls. You don't have to do it manually. Again, I'm not going to be using that, so I'm just going to disable it. Now, once it is done, the second thing which I have to do is the flow is again going to be very simple. What I want is to put my idea here. That idea should go to an LLM. An LLM extends that idea, and then it just posts on Twitter. Simple. So the second step is going to be putting an LLM in here. And for LLM, again, we have this tool called LLM Agent Tool, right? This is what we are going to be like using now. So what I have to do is just connect this tool to here. Very simple. And if you look at here, this is a dot. So this dot basically represents that you can connect this two together. Okay, so that's what I have done. I've connected these two together. Now the third thing which I need is post on Twitter. So what I want to do is Twitter MCP tool again. Okay, so now just gonna connect to Twitter. Done. So if our flow is ready. Okay. Now what we are gonna need is something which is very important, which are the API keys. Again, for anyone who is non-techie or anything like that, just for you, it is that if you want to run any LLM or anything like that, there's something called API key. If you type like API key for ChatGPT or API key for like Gemini, or you will find that, and you can just simply just get a API key and put that here. So for me, I'm gonna be using Gemini, so I'm gonna be like AI Studio again. I'll be just showing it on my. Can I just stop because I don't want to show my API key, or else like it's gonna be like. Or anyways, let's see who does it in the next couple of seconds on live stream. I just copied my API key. I'm gonna put it here, and this is it. Okay. Now this is the model which I want to use, and this is the Flash model which I'm going to be using. Now this is very important. System prompt. System prompt in a AI world is that, let's say you have an assistant and you want to tell that assistant what to do. Okay. This is what simple system prompt basically does. So what in my case I can do is there are two things which I can do. Either I can put my own now, which I don't want to take a risk because I'm on a live stream. So I'm going to go back, which I have already created. I'm going to copy that. Okay. So I'll go here again in the marketplace. There is something called marketing export. I'll just duplicate this. It's an advanced one. So if anyone is playing around, it's advanced flow. So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to put it back into mine. All right. So it basically says like avoid any links, avoid putting any hashtags. Okay. So this is done. Now, second thing is this one. This is interesting one. And this is what you have to ensure that you are placing it properly. API key for Twitter, because we are going to be using Twitter. And Elon Musk is very tough in giving out the keys. So go to developer dot like portal and generate your API key. Again, there is free limit. You can always use free limit. It's like 500 posts every month. So if you are not a very heavy influencer, for you it's fine. You can go ahead and build that. If you are very heavy influencer, you do every day Twitter posting and everything, please go ahead and pay Twitter some money and get the keys. Okay. And once you have those keys, come back here. I need to stop sharing my screen so that I can just put my API keys. I can't share my screen. Okay, I'm just stopping it. So what I'm going to do is just fill it in. Then nothing will change. The same flow. It is going to be like not behind the scene. I'm not going to change anything new. But yeah, just give me a second. In the meantime, you guys can carry on.
In the meantime, you can share
Nice.
like private keys to your wallet.
This is a mistake I've done a lot of times. Huh? Back when I started whiteboarding, Sara API keys is on any live stream, you'll find everything.
Yeah, that's the reason I kind of learned it in a very hard way. I also did it once, and it got exposed. But the good part about the API keys are like it can be retrieved, like it can be always revoke it. But yeah, I'm done. All right, let me get it back again. Yeah, so I've just filled in all the secrets key. Again, if you kind of see, we have already this encryption mechanism, so you don't like have to worry about while you are doing that. But the thing I was worried about is like you guys should not see my key. But yeah, so once this is done, you have to just simply do is come here, say deploy, say testing live, don't screw up.
Gods of
Okay, so I'm
demo,
adding it
if you
that
are
so that
watching this.
yeah, if so yeah, let me just deploy for 1 hour, and then just sit and relax. If that once deployment happens, we will see there is something called FT initialization which will show up. If it doesn't, then we just have to redeploy it. Okay, so don't mind like if it doesn't because we are still in early phase, beta phase. I don't want to go and to my developer and say everything loud. So just bear with those developers like my developers.
Soham Bhave, if you're
I
watching
love them by
this.
the way if they are hearing it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So deployment just went through. So let's do one thing is if I refresh it, let's see what happens. Yeah, it went through. Okay. So it went through. Now it is live. Tell me what do you want me to post today on Skynet page? And it's gonna post on Skynet page.
Soham, you are not alone.
Okay, let's do that. But AI is gonna just change it, no? So
Yeah, yeah.
that's the reason I have an AI in place. So we have to just ensure that we post anything logical. Okay, so we are on base, right? So let's talk about something base. Uh, what 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 do you want me to send out on Skynet?
Naman, be a guest. Come on. Say something
Yeah.
good. Okay.
So now
I
if you
just
kind of now if you see what happened here is LLM basically came into the picture. It extended whatever I have just said, and my post went to live on Skynet. Okay. Now if I go back on a Skynet account, which is this account, if I go back here and I should be there. Oh, is it there or it is not? Let's refresh it. Oh, it did not post it. Did I?
Did
Okay. So
you
did I? Yeah,
test?
I must have some screwed up some API key. Just check all the accounts because I must be using some other. Okay. Just to post this. Okay. So, but again, just to show you guys, like even if it posts or not, don't worry, it will post if I have not screwed up my API keys. But this is what it does. Okay, building all of those stuff, and then it just shows that okay, this is what I'm going to build. I'm going to post, and it just posts that. What the fuck? It is not posting. It is posting somewhere else. Yeah, it is. It's posting, I guess. Okay, this is what it kind of posted when it got posted. It posted on July 3rd. Did we post anything
Did you
else?
give your personal account or did you give like Skynet's?
I don't know.
Check that. You
Yeah,
gave
it
your
is my
personal
personal
account.
account. Fuck. Yeah,
God.
yeah. So see, this is what happens. You have to give the right API key. Okay, not like me, guys. Come on, like you should not do this over streams. But yeah, it's good. So it's posting here. You can see here, right?
So damn
It just
cool.
it just got posted on July 4th, and I have just posted two posts. I deleted one. Now, if I want to go ahead and let's say auto execute it, build auto execution, or let's say if I'll show you. Let's say okay, so base guys are here, so let's show them one more magic. The magic is what if we connect for caster? Okay,
Mm.
with this, how it
Well,
is going to
like,
look like. So we have this for caster
here's
MCP,
the term sheet.
and yeah, and what we can do is we can deploy for caster also simultaneously. Okay. So what we can do is this, we just need a bearer token again. I need some time to do that. But if you guys want to see that, I can do that as well. because I'm super always excited to show these things. So, okay, then after that, and then I will also show you like what else you can do. So don't ask me like do it.
Let's go for it. Let's just experiment for the next 10 minutes.
Okay, let's do this.
So I'll tell you what I'm loving about this. So I do a lot of things here, right? I just see the scope of different platforms that I can integrate. Let's say, just single click, I'm posting something on Twitter, goes on every place. So that's like one smaller use case. But other than that as well, let's say in terms of how if this works with, let's say, Telegram, right? I've got a backload of messages on my Telegram. That's a major problem statement that I have. Right? If you can just pull up things from that, sort it on priority, give me just, click on this and just fucking respond. Crazy.
Yeah, it can be done. I can
Yeah.
also build that, but it will take some little time. So I'll
Yeah,
not
no,
do
I'm
this on
just
the
giving you
first
use
stream. But
cases that I'm like, after this, I'm gonna definitely try.
yeah,
Naman is making
so I've just put my
us solve his problems on the stream.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
like, if you receive a text from me after 7 p.m., it's like Naman's agent, not Naman.
you can really do that. I have already done it. So for me, like I'm connected with multiple groups where a lot of things happens. So for me, the biggest challenge was like always it is to understand what these guys are even talking. A lot of times it's like, okay, what was the context? Not to like, and it becomes very awkward. Like, and but this way, what you can do is you can just build it like from scratch, and it just tells you. You can go to that bot, scroll up, it just tells you. And we are also adding memory, by the way. So once memory comes into the picture, then it's gonna be like God level. Now
Right.
you can read from memory, you can ask a question, you can do tons of different thing. It will just do it. So yeah, it's gonna be like fun. Now I've done with, but again for Caster one, I'm not sure, guys. Like I have not tested it out very aggressively, but I'm gonna take my risk to show everyone here. Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Can you share that you're sharing? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just okay. I shared the wrong one. Shared the right one.
Moment of truth.
Yeah. So again, I'm just gonna redeploy it because one deployment already went through. So I've already put in all the keys and everything again because this is a new flow. So I'll just gonna again I'll this. Let's redeploy. So just imagine, no. So far, I still remember like just few months back we were paying for a scheduler which used to post on our Twitter and our LinkedIn and our all of these places for a lot of dollars. Now you can build that same thing here in just spending couple of minutes. So it's done. Okay. So now my deployment just went through. Their business is gone actually. So now they have to think of a different business. We are coming after them. Um, but yeah. So now let's go back here. I have done deployment done. My forecast is set up. Let's go and test it. Let's pray from the God. It should just work. Okay. So Twitter MCP went through. Forecaster also looks like went through. Amazing. It did work, bro. Let's go to Forecaster now. Okay. So see here,
Damn.
got
Nice.
posted on Forecaster
Nice.
just 9 seconds ago.
Whoa, nice.
Okay. The
I'm actually like pretty excited that it worked in like one go, and like
I'm also
I
excited, by
for a
the way.
second I was like, oh.
I'm more excited. I'm excited than because the
The
fuck it
excitement
worked.
took through.
I was not expecting that. But yeah. So this is how you can basically set up your two channels. Now let's say if you want to add 100 different channels, add memory, Google, do doll like now you can literally automate everything. Now I'll show you the beautiful part about it, okay? Which I haven't just shown. So far, what you have seen is the output. The beautiful part here is that what we have done, we just given a natural language prompts. Okay. So I just said like
Yeah.
post this, and this is what I wanted to post. Okay. And it just went through. And that's the power of AI. So now you don't have to write like if and else, switch, and like all the developers will be able to relate to that. And even if you are no code builder, you will also relate that as well. That a lot of times you, even if you work with a lot of these no code tools, you end up in writing a lot of if and else logical statements. And if those get
Yeah.
screwed up, you get screwed up. So with this, you no longer have to do that. Like it's all done. Okay. And you can just run it. The cost is also very cheap because the compute is coming from Spheron. By default, the cost becomes much more effective. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars for that, you can just get the same thing in $25 max. Like at the peak capacity, you are gonna save like 75% of the cost. And not only that, you can just keep on building n number of these things because we have immense amount of compute over a deep network, which again has been powered from base. All the whatever. Again, one more beautiful part. I wanted to show it here, but I don't have that data here. Whenever I just clicked on redeploy, right? What happened in the background? It executed a transaction on base. It went through that deal. It got the deal. It submitted the deal. Transaction successfully. Creator accepted the bid, and the bid got submitted, and your compute was up and running. So close to 4 to 5 transaction might have happened on base, and then only we got it running. So just see how fast also it works. So that's the whole bundle of on-chain AI, basically how it's going to look like on the application layer if you build it right.
And what people don't
I
understand.
love the caveat.
Yeah, yeah, go
What
ahead.
was the caveat?
If you build
Yeah.
it right.
Yeah, if you build it right, that's the thing, because a lot of time what I've seen, like, people don't use on-chain stuff. They just use API keys to do that, which I'd hate. If you're building in Web3, it has
Mm.
to be just like RPCs and everything, on-chain interactions and all of those things should happen. So that's what it basically solves.
And the beauty is it
Got it.
happens on deep and
Got it.
compute. Like that is the biggest thing,
Win.
like that is to realize. Yeah, exactly. Like you see that these are machines which are connected on top of his. Like it can be my machine, it can be yours machine, it can be some data center. So it really, I think what people aren't able to understand the power of deep and compute. And this is why we need an abstraction and application to showcase that how easy it is to do that. And I think that's the ideology at Spheron. It has been followed like in any application layer, like from supernoders to Clippy to like anything that has been built. It happens on deep and compute, and it runs and it scales on deep and compute. And like I want to go on record and say, like, give me one tangible business out there which happens on deep and compute right now. Like
Very few. Very few.
taking
Again, I think,
very few,
I think,
yeah.
I think, I think it's all about understanding. But honestly, like, I wanted to take
Yeah.
a feedback from Naman also. Like, what do you think?
So, see, I think from a very user perspective, most of the cases that evaluate a product or use a product. And I'm just thinking the immense opportunities in the way that even a non-techie or somebody who wipe codes or somebody who doesn't even know what an IDE is and what sort of efficient workflows they can potentially build on top of it. That's the beauty of the platform that I currently see. And I feel a lot of with let's say I'm at network school, right? There's a lot of focus on efficiency, there's a lot of focus on productivity, and everybody, see, I'm working on a standing desk with a fucking walking pad below it. So right, people are trying to get into efficiency. They've always sort of aspired it, but they're now sort of executing on top of it. This fits, or this just joins the dot damn pretty well.
Yeah, that's true. And then, yeah, I also love only that part also. But since you talked about efficiency and
Yeah.
also like some use cases, I'll take again the honor to go ahead and show one more thing.
Love it.
Because I just don't want to waste that opportunity. For example, let's say if there's a base, okay, you put your private key again. One more thing here, we use KMS, we use all those encryption mechanism to ensure that your keys and everything is safe. And again, when we don't use shared compute, so essentially, whenever your computer is getting deployed, it's getting deployed in an isolated environment. So it's very hard for anyone to kind of penetrate into any of our systems. But just for everyone's sake, just to make everyone comfortable. And it doesn't goes to like normal machines, it goes to only data center machines whenever you use any kind of private info. And again, all the data centers we work with, they are all tier 3. Yeah, it's a disclaimer I'm giving out to everyone so that people are comfortable. So for example, on base, I want to go ahead and um, okay, so I think Naman is, so that's the reason we always should go with the charger. Let him come back.
One second. Oh, one second.
That's fine. So yeah, let him come back, and then we also have got the D bridge.
I'm back.
Yeah, we
Damn,
have
you
also got the
flash.
he's fast. Um, yeah, he's fast as base. Let's But yeah, so if you kind of look at this one, right? So this is integration of Goat. If you guys know, like Goat is a framework in web
We
development.
lost someone.
Oh, okay. I thought like it was me.
But
But anyways, but
at a
anyways,
second, I
for
lost like
everyone,
everyone. Yeah,
okay. So
I think it's the platform.
but for everyone again, it's very simple. Like you go to base, select whatever chain you want to select, go to base, create it, attach your private key, select your I want to use Uniswap. You can click on Uniswap. You can use Balancer or whatever. Add all of these plugins. Save plugins done. Now, if you want to go ahead and let's say I want to do swap of these tokens, or you can build your own flow. It just keeps on doing that. Okay. So this is easy. So the level of smart contract interaction which we are going to bring, it's going to be like people who don't want to even see in smart contract interaction and everything, like they can just come and build that. Or let's say if you're a techie, right, and you know how ABI and everything works, this is the tool for you. Put your smart contract, put your ABI, put your private key RPC URL, done. Okay, so you can now build your own indexing protocol. You can build whatever you want to on top of this execution layers. So that's what Skynet basically solves at scale, as one of the use cases on chain. Yeah, I'm done.
Perfect.
Wow, this was a pretty good demo, honestly. Like everything worked pretty flawlessly, and I'm really proud of what team has achieved till yet. Like Skynet has done some amazing work. But Naman, over to you. Like wanted to listen on your end as well, because I think there are so many people, like as you mentioned, like even where you are right now, there are so many content creators which are out there, and everybody is trying to break into Web3 now. Now Web3 can act like a big DAX of different factors. Like if anybody wants to jump in, like are you using things on chain? Like either go in DeFi, use leverage, and lose a lot of money, and and then learn, and you can get started with things where you are a content creator and you can automate stuff and understand, okay, you can do this and that. But what's your take from a perspective of an ecosystem and people who are building on top of base? So yeah, would love to know that as well.
Perfect. See, very on top of my head, right? I feel the more easy that you make it for anybody to sort of, interact with the blockchain, interact with, whatever you're building on chain, enable them to build things easier, faster, interact easier. That's the enabler for more people to enter the industry, more people to enter the ecosystem, and this piece of tech solves that. So that's my biggest takeaway out of this.
Yeah, I mean I think that's the only goal. Like that's the only goal. As a like we saw, like there was a big moat out there which needed to be filled in, and we felt that Skynet could do that. And but what future do you see, Prashant, for Skynet? Like what's like once you envision, okay, this is out there in the public, and you want, okay, I want 1,000 people creating 1,000 things on it, or you want specific people to build like enterprise grade stuff on it. Like how do you envision Skynet in next few months or even years?
So there is a very, I think yesterday when we were having a chat in our office, right? Saurabh has mentioned one thing, and we also have internally discussed that. So Spheron basically allows you to build whatever you want on top of it. So essentially, if you look at the machine, building the machine are the most profitable business ever you might have seen in the world. So Skynet is that. So Skynet is going to allow to build machines on top of it. So essentially, it's itself is a machine. It is allowing you to build one more machine. It's like launching micro SaaS for your own thing and for your own effort, right? So um, the opportunity is huge, but what we want to like look at is like how narrowly or how niche we solve some problems. For example, the BD problem which I talked about, right? Can it be solved? Yes. Is it Web3 related? The answer is most likely yes and no. Is it human related? The answer is yes, right? So if we can solve the human problems, that's the problem which we are trying to look at on the Skynet level. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is as we grow down the line, the whole focus is going to be like a lot of time. I also receive this question like, where is Web3? Web3 is deepin, which we are using. So that's how we look at Skynet. And then down the line, these things as we scale, we'll see like a lot of these compute players coming and joining the network just because they want more demand coming from Skynet running these agents and all tons of other things. Again, it's a flywheel which I want to see that happening. The third thing which I want to break to the Web2 world also is that there are applications which you can build, which you can also build on Amazon or AWS and all of these places. You can also build the same application layer on Spheron without even compromising the quality and efficiency. Okay, it's a very big market, but again, to entertain that big market, we need to build use cases. So for us, Scanet is one of that use case to get into. Fourth, we want to ensure that Web3 people who look into the AI agent, the entire game should change for them. So we want to set a new standard for them. Now you no longer can come and launch a token by saying that we are going to be like launching a swap agent, because now you can build a swap agent on Skynet. You don't need a token for it. So suddenly that market has geared up to the next level. Okay, so now after this, we want to see what people want to bring in. So we have also leveled up that. So that's where we are going to be like all the community onboarding, collaborating with again base to see is like what else we can collaborate around that, and how fast we can like onboard more community members to campaigns around it. So that's what the feature I'm looking.
Amazing. Like, and Naman, like, there are so much abstraction of users and builders you see. Where do you think Skynet would fit in as like application layer? Yes, people devs who are doing stuff, people who are doing stuff around it. Like, what do you feel are would be like your top three use cases out of Skynet for people who are watching this? Like somebody like there is yesterday some uh, uh, a kid reached out to me and he was like, okay, I want to get started in Web3, and I just got the FBI link and I just put them like, you should join this,
Hmm.
and you should, because that's the best standpoint for anybody to get into uh, building and all of that, and that really acts as one of the levels. Now, if somebody who's watching this, like, what do you think? Like, okay, you can pick this, you can pick this, and you can do that, right? Who do you think are the target users from the ecosystem perspective for Skynet?
Got it, got it. Don't ask me dev questions. I'm मतलब dev से मैं दूर हटता हूँ. So I'll answer. See, I'll answer it this way. So I interact with number one builders who know their shit, right? So, but the blockchain part of it, right? The blockchain interactions that you showed me, to me, that's fucking amazing. Because I, as a non-dev who doesn't even have, let's say, ID but has cursor on his laptop, can now do it without, let's say, fucking around and finding out. I love that. And I feel if anybody just wants to give a shot to Skynet, pick up something that's very basic, very something that you do very at a higher frequency throughout your day. Let's say I respond to Telegram messages throughout the day and send FBI links for sale. Right. So if any builder requests first messages, how do I get into Web3? Keywords, let's say, how do I get into Web3? Immediately that message goes out. Boss, FBI is the best place for you to be at. For any content creator, I feel cross posting is a major challenge, even for organizations, right? Just you said it that you paid phantom amount of dollars to some platform to just cross post. I think it's a big problem that you're solving quite easily, right? And I'll try that out to save some part of what I spent personally. So my only advice would be pick up something that's very basic. If you're a non-dev, pick up something that you do quite repetitively throughout the day. And if you can solve, and if somebody solves one of the biggest problem statements using Skynet, they're a sticky user. They're gonna make an agent of themselves, which is what I am gonna do.
Yeah, clone.
Yeah, and by the way, we before even we move further, so we are gonna be like today we are gonna be launching $5 on us campaign on Skynet. So essentially, you go, you deploy your agent, and that initial deployment of that, whatever you want to test around, feel around Skynet and everything, it's on us for the next couple of months down the line. Second thing, which we are also gonna be like making it live. is a creator revenue sharing program. So if you are somebody who build an agent which become viral or anything like that, you can post it on our marketplace. We'll be opening a form there. You can submit that ID. What we are going to do is whatever money we are going to make, we will share with you. So let's say your template makes 10,000 replications every month. Imagine, and every 10,000 is like giving us $15 of you from your flow. You will be making $1 or $2, or even like we haven't decided the percentage yet, but as a royalty by default. So for you as a creator, it's gonna be like one income stream. But what you have to just do, come, create, and put it in the marketplace. And as we grow, you're gonna make money out of it.
Amazing, amazing. Like I'm getting paid for my work to be copied. So guess what, Tesla?
Why not? Why?
Nice.
So, so but like this is how you distinct technology, right? Like I really love that. Like I think uh, team had the idea yesterday, and today it's out there, and I like that. Like something to really enable builders out of the bat. I think that's what Spheron's ideology has been like from very beginning, and it has been for years. Like anybody who comes to us and who's into building, like they just get outright support, like GPUs, and the team has been working so hard that they have just made the carousel so big for me for people to tell that okay, give me your 15-20 minutes and let me tell you what we can do for you. But yeah, this is amazing, and I think thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Like very pretty laid back, and if you're watching this, it's time for you to get that started. I'm gonna make my agent live. I'm not saying because just I want to make money. I'm saying that I'm gonna make my BD bot live, and if you want to use it, you can definitely like. I'm gonna create the best BD bot. But yeah, so. Please feel free to use Skynet. And I think 5 Hour campaign is live. And thank you so much, Naman. Thank you so much, Prashant, for joining in. You guys have been amazing. And people who are watching this, it's time. Let's use Skynet.
Let's go, guys.
Let's go.